What's up, guys? Welcome back to the recap show for UFC 289 that happened last night in Vancouver, Canada. Right now, Donna taking on Amanda Nunes. Congrats for her to retiring. But also, what an epic night of fights it was.
What an epic night of fights. And I've just got to say, the atmosphere in Vancouver was unbelievable. Me and Priest have been to some insane fights. We've been in O2, in London for a Paddy fight. We've been in Las Vegas for a Conor McGregor and Khabib fight. Some of the atmospheres that we have been are insane, and this is right up there with them.
Neck and neck. They're literally tied. Canada and O2 tied.
You think they're tied?
I think they're tied.
I don't know, man. I think the O2 just barely nudges them out. But nonetheless, it was an amazing night of fights. So me and Priest are here doing our Burn Moment recap. We are going to pick a Burn Moment out of any fight of the night. Could be in the early prelims, the prelims, main card, main event. Just a Burn Moment that stuck out to us. So Priest, kick things off with the first Burn Moment.
Number one Burn Moment for me is Charles Oliveira. Round number one. 1 minute and 13 seconds into the fight, lands that beautiful right head kick that wobbles Beneil. Beneil goes down to the floor. Oliveira hits him with a right, and it's done. All she wrote, because we saw it earlier in the fight. Oliveira comes right out, lands that same head kick again that kind of dazes Beneil, gets him thinking. Beneil and him kind of go at it, go onto the ground. Beneil slips out a couple submissions of Oliveira, gets right back up, and 1 minute and 13 seconds into round number one was the Burn Moment.
What a performance for Charles Oliveira.
Oh,
I picked
fabulous.
him to win, but I did not see that fight going that way. I thought it was going to be a grueling exchange on the feet, a grueling exchange on the ground, a back and forth fight where Charles Oliveira squeaks out a decision or maybe a late finish. But his performance was unbelievable, man.
I'll tell you what, I did not see the high kicks coming. I like seeing his up kicks, the straight up kicks he throws, but the high kicks, did not see that coming one bit.
That just shows you Charles Oliveira, man. And I said this in the prediction show that I believe Charles Oliveira had a burn moment against Islam. He didn't even watch the fight. He was so embarrassed of the performance he put out there that he's going to make sure no matter what, he will never have a performance that way. And I think coming into this fight, he was so ready. He was so mentally clear on what he wanted to do. And it showed in this fight. It really showed. And the Charles Oliveira that fought at UFC 289, if he fights like that against Islam in Abu Dhabi, it's going to be a really, really close fight.
I believe and knew.
You think and knew?
I believe and knew if the same Oliveira that fought last night fought Islam in Abu Dhabi, and knew.
I don't know. It's a tough fight. I'm super excited that it's going to happen because I really think that was not the best Oliveira that was out there that night against Islam. But nonetheless, what an amazing performance for Charles Oliveira. Good burn moment pick. Good burn moment
thanks.
pick.
What's your burn moment of UFC 289?
So my burn moment is actually out of the fights. So there's a video that's surfacing on the internet of Mike Malott's walkout. So he's getting ready. He's waiting for the producer to be like, walk, 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 like make the walk. And he's Canadian. He's in Canada. Everyone's coming there to watch Mike Malott. And so as soon as the producer's like, walk, 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 he starts walking and everyone's trying to reach over the bearings and slap his hand, give him a high five. And so the people above him, as soon as he started walking, the whole railing collapsed right next to him. And you might be asking, well, where's the burn moment? The burn moment was that he didn't even look at them. He didn't stop and say, oh, are you guys okay? Or, whoa, that kind of scared me. He didn't even look. It didn't even faze him. And he kept walking because he was so focused on this fight. And he has been so focused for so long on putting the best performance he can in front of his people in his home country that nothing was going to faze him. And I think that really showed in his performance. He came out, guns blazing, hands look crisp, threw a massive body kick to start the fight that hurt Adam. And I think just that focus of this night, he was not going to lose. He was not going to lose.
I'll tell you, though, that body kick he threw, I felt that in my seats.
Yeah, we were cage side, and you heard it, and it was like a thud. It was like, boom, and you saw Adam kind of wince and stuff. But Mike Malott is for real, man. I think he could be top 5, maybe fight for a title one day. That's how special this kid is.
One day. Give him a couple years.
Give him a couple years. I give him 2 years and he's cracking the top 5. His skill set, man, he's 4 UFC fights, 4 finishes. Mike Malott is for real.
Yeah, I believe he has what it takes to become a champion. Just like how I said, give him some time.
Yeah.
He's still a baby into the UFC. He's only had 4 fights in the UFC, but he looks good.
The worst thing the UFC could do is try to start fast tracking him. If they start fast tracking him, it might kind of slow him up again. I think if he takes the Sean O'Malley road of like, keep getting better, work on little things every single fight and keep fighting these guys that are just outside the top 15, look out for him, welterweight division. That's going to do it for the recap show. Like always, like, comment, and subscribe at the Burn Factory podcast.
And also, if you have not entered the UFC 290 giveaway, go enter at the Burn Factory podcast on Instagram. It's a first pinned post, and all the directions are in there, so you can win this opportunity of a lifetime.
We'll see you guys for the next video.
This is the Burn Factory.